What's up, beautiful humans? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to talk about the must-haves for Hawaii, what you need for your vacation, and what you probably don't even think about. Let's talk about it. We're going to talk about the things that you may not think about when it comes to packing for Hawaii. Now, this is after a ton of research. Now, I've never been to Hawaii, but stay tuned and subscribe because it's coming in a couple weeks, so stay tuned for that. But this is outside of the normal clothing, the normal things that you think of packing for a tropical vacation. I wanted to kind of make it very Hawaii specific and things that will help you and get you kind of started with things like that. I also have friends that live in Hawaii. One of my best friends lives in Hawaii, and I have a lot of time on my hands researching and doing a lot of overthinking. So I have narrowed it down to these 10 things that you will need when it comes to traveling in Hawaii that you may not think about. First one is a quick dry towel. Now, there are a ton of companies that sell these. This comes from a company called Dock and Bay. This one actually is for the WDC, which is the Wildlife or the Whale and Dolphin Conservatory. This is a quick drying towel. It is in this pouch, so I can pull this out and I can use it. It's also sand resistant, and so it doesn't track sand, it doesn't track water. So I fold this up, and it is a beautiful soft material, perfect to lay on the beach, as well as throwing it in a bag. It doesn't take up very much space, and it would be super easy to take to the beach, as well as if you are traveling to Maui specifically, and you are traveling on the road to Hana, you're gonna wanna jump in to those waterfalls, to those beautiful, beautiful water spots, and you're gonna get back in your car pretty quickly, or your tour group or something like that. So having a quick dry towel is essential when it comes to that, because if you're still wet, it's not fun to sit and be wet and to be hot and things like that. So a quick dry towel not only dries you off, but it keeps the towel dry, it doesn't get moldy, and obviously if you use it and you pack it up in your suitcase, you're good to go. But this one specifically, I got, they do have a ton of different colors at Dock and Bay, but I wanted this one just because it has a bunch of whales on it. It's real cute. It has a whale pattern in the stripe, and I love it so much. Look at that. It's just so fun. The other side is just a blank blue and white stripe. And I got the extra large size. That has nothing to do with me, but that has everything to do with the length and the width of the towel. So if I wanted to kind of more spread out, or if you're tall and you wanted to cover the whole thing, go with the extra large. It is longer and wider than a normal quick dry towel. They also have small ones, and smaller than the extra large. So it can kind of suit your needs to whatever you want it to be. But I got this one. It's so much fun. They have pink, they have just a bunch of fun colors. They have solids, and they have quick dry towels for your hair too, if you made that. Next up on the docket, as you guys know, would be a camera. It's a GoPro. Now, this is the GoPro Hero 8. It is just what I have. I'm not gonna upgrade to the 9 because it wasn't that big of a difference. But when they probably do the 10, maybe I will. But this is a great option for not only photos, but video. If you're going snorkeling, if you're doing anything with water, or anything that has off-roading involved, or anything that's going to be a lot shaky. So examples are ATV rides, obviously snorkeling, specifically maybe even biking, if you're going to do a bike ride, if you're going to go horseback riding, just a ton of things, rock climbing as well. The stabilization in this thing is crazy good, and the color straight out of camera, if you're using GoPro color, is fine. And also you can shoot in a flatter profile if you would like to color grade it yourself. That's also an option. And it does the wide angle, it does the linear, which makes it kind of more POV and not so fisheye, which I really appreciate about GoPro, which is what they're angling towards. But also, people use GoPros all the time for taking beautiful photos, beautiful videos of their vacations, and it's such a small thing to just pop in your bag and to take with you. Obviously, there's a ton of accessories as well if you wanted to get really fancy with it. And this is also a great starter camera if you wanted to vlog your vacation, not necessarily to post all over YouTube, but for your family to do that. Easily to take on water slides for the kids and things like that, with some fun wrist mounts and just simple things like that you can take with you. So I would recommend getting a GoPro. There are other action cameras out there, other waterproof cameras, other things like that, but I've never used any of them. and I can't recommend them, but I do recommend getting a GoPro because I have used them for years and it is tried and true, steady and sturdy. And I just love that it's so versatile that it gives you the video, the time lapses as well, for sunrises and sunsets obviously is perfect. And a GoPro, pack it in your bag. Now the next one we're gonna talk about is sun protection. Now I am a Irish person and I get burned really, really easily. So sun protection is super important to me, as well as the kind of sun protection that I get. Now this is lip sunscreen. I cannot reiterate enough. If you are prone to burning or even not, wear lip sunscreen. This is from Banana Boat. I got it off Amazon. It has 45, it's UVA 45. It has aloe vera, so it won't dry your lips out. But I cannot reiterate enough that like if you burn your lips, it's so terrible. So make sure to get this. It's super easy to pop in your bag and do things like that. But another thing is rash guards. I wear rash guards a lot because I burn so easily. So I wear them when I'm at Typhoon Lagoon, if I'm at Disney, because the sun just beats down. But Hawaii is so different because the sun, like it's the house of the sun is there in Hawaii. It's Haleakala, that's what that means. And it just beats in a different way. So I recommend bringing a rash guard that has UPF in it. The one I have has 50. It's from Body Glove, which I got off Amazon. And it feels like a bathing suit. So obviously it's not one of those looser ones that kind of rides up. This is more for swimming, for surfing, for those snorkeling adventures that you are going to be kind of laying in the middle of the ocean with your stomach, like stomach down, for 30-45 minutes, take on a snorkeling excursion, and your back's gonna get fried. So make sure to bring a rash guard or something like that, as well as wearing sunscreen. And I want to talk about sunscreen in particular because reef safe sunscreen is super important, not only in general, but for Hawaii specifically and for other tropical destinations, because what we have on our bodies, when it comes to lotions, when it comes to creams, when it comes to what's in our hair, it all comes off in the ocean. So the less chemicals, the better, obviously, because we want to keep our oceans nice and clean and healthy and things like that. So wearing reef safe sunscreen is super important in Hawaii because we want to do our part to help. And it doesn't cost any more. It is the same. And most companies are going reef safe at this point, like Banana Boat. I ordered some. I don't have it with me at the moment, but I ordered some reef safe sunscreen from Banana Boat because I just like Banana Boat as a company. I like how their product feels when I put it on. So I wanted to see if they had that, and they do. So I'm super excited about that, to come and to use that. So make sure, even if you're just going to the beach in your state, in the ocean, wear reef safe sunscreen because it is so important to do so, but very, very important to do in Hawaii. Next up is snorkel gear or goggles, and or both. We actually got this at TJ Maxx a couple years ago when we were planning on going on a cruise. That didn't happen. We went elsewhere, but it was like a couple bucks. Like they had a crazy sale, and it was just the mouth guard. So it has a mouthpiece and it actually has the GoPro mount, where I prefer a GoPro mount on a snorkel to be. You see those ones that have the goggles on the top, and that's not a good like angle. So I prefer to have a GoPro right here because this is a better eye level. But it has the plate already here for your goggles to like hook onto. And so we got that. So I'm just gonna take that with me. It barely takes up any room in the suitcase, obviously, because it's just skinny and flat. I also got these goggles off of Amazon. They're just like normal swimming goggles, but they are larger, so it has more of a, I don't like the ones that like go in your eyes, like swimming goggles that Olympians use, because they just like feel like my eyes are gonna pop out. So this one kind of goes like more like a snorkel style, but doesn't have the nose piece because I don't like that. But obviously these are just super easy to throw in my bag, throw in my backpack for the day, and just hop in wherever I want, because if I don't have my glasses on, I'm wearing contacts because I cannot see. So even if I wanted to dive under without goggles, I would need to take my contacts out because it would not go well for me after that, especially in salt water or even a pool water. It would just not work out. So I'm just gonna wear goggles if I wanted to go swimming. And these are, they were like 12 bucks for 2 pair, like super, super easy. And this was a couple bucks. Obviously you can buy them together most of the time. I just wanted specifically different goggles because I don't like the nose piece. But Obviously, if you're going on a snorkeling tour, they normally provide this stuff for you, but if you feel more comfortable bringing your own, obviously that is up to you. Just make sure you ask your tour guide if that's available and you can do that. I've done a lot of research and I would not recommend doing the face like thing that goes all the way around your face and has like the little spout right here. I've done a lot of research about those, and a lot of people have a hard time breathing in those when it comes to like getting the flow back together, like instead of this. I don't know, I've never used one, but a lot of tour companies, if you wanted to bring your own, they will not allow you to use those because of liability issues. So make sure that you are taking just kind of this basic kind of stuff and going from there. But you can also, there's a ton of places in Hawaii you can snorkel for free on every island, and why not bring your own? Spend the 15 to 20 bucks to get something like this. Check your local Marshalls, Home Goods, whatever discount store has this kind of stuff, and go for it. Even Target may have some on sale for going into summer, so make sure to look out for that. But snorkel gear, goggles for swimming and getting in that water. Next up is reusable silverware. Now this is just a travel thing for me in general because I don't like to use single-use plastics at all, and especially straws or forks or spoons. And sometimes even when I'm at my hotel, I have leftovers and I need to call the front desk because I don't have a fork to eat them. And I don't want to eat macaroni and cheese with my hands because I'm not a monster. And I would do it, but that seems, I shouldn't do that. So I always have this, even if it's not to take out with me, but it is something that to have in my room that's great. But this one I actually just got off Amazon, which I'm super pumped about. The previous one I had was bamboo, and I didn't like how it felt when I was eating off of it. The texture of it wasn't nice. I was always afraid I was gonna get a splinter. I probably wouldn't, but it felt like that. It was very raw. So actually I got this one. It's super small. It's like a wristlet size, and it has obviously that wristlet piece, but it's super thin. And it is a black stainless steel set. And it's gonna reflect a little bit of light. But it has two straws, one with a bendy top and one with a straight. And it also has the straw silicone tap of the tops because I cannot stand, I'm so glad they have these because I don't like metal straws against my teeth. It's something about it. So I'm glad these have the silicone tips, and obviously you can take them off to wash them. It has the straw cleaner in here. It actually has a pair of chopsticks, which I'm super excited to use when we get to Hawaii for that gorgeous Japanese food, the gorgeous like Asian influence that they have there. I cannot wait to use that. And they have a fork and two different size spoons, which is great. A super big one and just a normal little teeny spoon. It's so cute. But this is super lightweight, super sturdy spoons, and you just kind of throw this in your bag, and when you grab something from a food truck in Hawaii, because you should grab something from a food truck in Hawaii, use this. Don't use their reusable silverware. If you go to a place that has takeout, you have silverware already. It's super easy just to wash in the room and to keep with you at all times, literally anywhere you go. And it's just so great to have. And obviously reusable straws are perfect, and especially ones that give you a little bit of things. And the chopsticks are a great addition to something like this. So I'm glad to have this in my arsenal. In general, a new pack, because the old one wasn't a huge fan, but I will definitely take this to Epcot festivals, to just anywhere I travel, because single-use plastic is a yucky thing. I would like to use this and to contribute and do my part. The little things matter when it comes to reusable plastic and to fighting against climate change. So this is what I'm doing to do that in Hawaii, and it's just easy to throw in my backpack for the day and to wash in the room when we get back with a little bit of travel dawn, and you're good to go. Next up on that note is a reusable water bottle. I have a massive hydro flask as well as a carrier for my hydro flask that is a side satchel that is great for hikes. And I would recommend doing that because not only would that be great on a hike, but at the beach, at the pool, you're there all day hanging out, and you can get easily dehydrated pretty quickly because of the heat. So having that cold water, or even having coffee in it, is a hot drink to wake you up in the morning or whatever. The hydro flask or just a reusable water bottle can keep you hydrated throughout the day as long as you have that. So I would just recommend carrying that with you, especially if you're going to do a lot of outdoor activities, to having that access to fresh water and to keeping yourself hydrated during the Hawaiian heat. is a must-have. The next one is a winter coat. Hear me out on this because it seems silly, but I'm speaking to those of you who are going to Maui specifically. When you are in Maui, you should be booking a sunrise experience at Haleakala National Park. You have to reserve your time a week, 7 days in advance, and they're limiting the people, however many people are fit in the parking lot, and you watch the sunrise over the clouds. Haleakala literally means house of the sun, and you watch the sunrise before literally anyone else can see it, and it is just stunningly beautiful, and it's like sacred ground. It is stunning. It is absolutely lovely, but it's really cold because you're above the cloud cover and you are not in Hawaiian heat. It's also super early in the morning. It's windy, and taking that winter coat, your beanie, your socks, like all of that would be helpful. I know it seems silly and takes up a ton of space in your suitcase, but if you have a packable option, that would be great. Unfortunately, I can't find a packable not down coat. I need down alternative that is a price that I'm okay with. The ones that I've seen are super, super expensive. I'm allergic to down, so I can't put it on my skin or even through my clothes because it will make me mega itchy and have a reaction. So I have to have down alternative coats. So the one that I do have it takes up space. But a packable coat, your winter socks, just one pair, and maybe some hiking boots, obviously, or just things to keep you warm and layer it up, because as you come down the mountain and you want to do more things in Haleakala National Park, just take it off, put it back in the car, put it in the backpack, things like that. But a winter coat is a must. Next up are water shoes. Now, I have never had sandals like this before. I've never had Chacos or Tevas or anything like that because I just think they're ugly. But I've been wearing these the past couple days after getting them just to break them in, and they're really comfortable. So I apologize to Teva and all the people that wear them and the people that wear Chacos, but they're like really great shoes. And I need a good shoe because I have a lot of back issues. And I love that this has like a piece for your ankle. And I like the bottom is a hikey shoe because when you're on the road to Hana and you want to hop in that waterfall after you have hiked a couple miles, you can, because in the shoe you have won't hold you don't have to take your shoes off, you don't have to do anything like that. You can just hop in and you won't scuff up your shoes or scuff up your feet if there's anything like weird under the water that you can't see. But they don't hold water like a shoe would, and you don't take your shoes off and then put socks back on wet feet. It's a great thing to have, and I'm so excited to have them. And I would recommend getting a water shoe. I don't really need to recommend Tevas, but there are a ton of different options on Amazon, on any sports academy website, on literally anything. You can get a water sock. You can do anything that kind of serves this purpose of having something to protect your feet, but also to be able to keep your feet dry and not wet. So water shoes are a must. Next up is Dramamine. Now I ordered this double pack of Dramamine on Amazon. They have a ton of different options. I can't take a pill because I'm a baby. So these are chewable, and they are raspberry and cream flavored. So I have never gotten motion sickness in my life. I grew up going on boats. I go on roller coasters. I don't feel motion sickness at all. But you never know when your body will turn on you. So, especially as you get older. So I recommend just having this as a backup. It's cheap. It is just something to have with you. And if you do have it, even if you don't, especially if you're prone, you already know all this stuff and you have it in your bag. But if you are doing any kind of boating tour, any kind of the road to Hana is a big one because of all the curves. If you're doing something with high elevation, I would recommend starting to take this a day before you do all this stuff, and then continually take it as long as you're going to do those kind of things. I wouldn't take it as needed. It says that it works on site, and also this is 24 hours of protection, the one I have, and also it's less drowsy formula. So that's another reason to take it a day before to see how it makes you feel and to go from there, because make sure you're getting the non-drowsy and make sure you're getting, or less drowsy, or whatever they want to call it, Dramamine, the company. Take ginger chews as well, like if you're prone to motion sickness, or they have easy, I have an oil that's like specifically for that, and I just put it behind my ears if I feel a little weird. Like we went on a cruise a couple years back to Alaska and the waters were super calm, but I just felt weird. I didn't feel sick, I just felt odd. So I put that on, they sold it in the gift shop, and I swear by it all the time. If I feel a little weird at Disney World from like the heat and the motion and things like that, I put it on I just smell it even, or put it behind my ears and I'm good to go. Like just because if I feel a little off. And, but Dramamine if you feel sick, drowsy, dizzy, things like that. Because you don't want to have sickness as a thing on your vacation. That's not fun at all. So Dramamine is a must. Last but not least is cash. Now, taking cash on a trip is a given most of the time, but since you are going and doing excursions and tour company and people are taking you out on their tours and things like that, you need to tip those people. But also if you were in Maui and you're doing the road to Hana, a lot of those roadside stands don't take cash. They're family run businesses on their land and they prefer to take cash because they get charged a fee if you use a card, so they prefer you have cash. So I would always do that, obviously for tipping if you get room service, if you go on a tour, if you have a bellhop, anything like that, having cash is so important. And then specifically for Maui, or probably actually any island, but Maui is just what we're going to and what I've done research on, which is why I'm being specific to that. But the road to Hana, I want to stop at all the roadside things for macadamia nuts, for banana bread, for smoothies, for juice, for things like that. So I want to make sure that I'm ready and prepared to just give them the money that they deserve and I get my beautiful items and things like that. So make sure to have cash, and I think that it'll do you well and serve you well to have that in your back pocket on tours and excursions and just throughout your day, because you never know when someone's machine will be down and you just can't pay for what you did. So having cash is essential. So that was the 10 things that I think are essential and must-haves for traveling to Hawaii. I hope this was super helpful, and I hope that it was a guide to further your vacation and to encourage you to maybe pack less or buy something that you didn't have before that you totally forgot about that you might need. And I hope that it was just informative and that, you know, you just get a lot of value out of this video, because I've done a lot of research on it and I narrowed it down to those top 10 things, other than like clothing and things like that, obviously. But those top 10 things are musts for me, especially for what I'm doing with a lot of outdoor activities and a lot of other things and a lot of water activities. Those are just givens and essentials, and I'm so excited to use them, so excited to have beautiful brands in my bag and to support those businesses as well. So again, if you aren't subscribed, I hope you do. It's a little red button down here, as well as the bell next to it. It notifies you every single time that I post a video, which is every Tuesday and Thursday. And coming up is my Hawaii trip, guys. I'm so excited to finally go to Hawaii. I'm going with my mom. My mom hasn't been to Hawaii in 40 years, so she has been begging me to go, and finally I said fine, because it was such a hard thing. But we are going to Hawaii for a little over 2 weeks, and we are staying on Maui, and then we're going to Oahu and doing a fun thing there. A lot of fun things actually are planned, and I can't wait for you to see them. So make sure you subscribe with the bell on, and if you like this video, obviously give it a thumbs up, but turn that notification bell on, because those videos are going to be so fun. Food tours, excursions, whales, things like that. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you enjoyed it, thumbs up, subscribe, bell. I'll see you next time, and until that, be a beautiful human. Bye.